Hey bitches, welcome back to my channel. I'm sitting here once again with the love of my life. Why did you make that face? You don't want me saying that anymore? You don't want people to know that you were the love of my life?
No, you can't call me Dustin Dopamine today. You got to call me something sneezy or something because my allergies are so bad right now.
Your allergies have been very bad. I would like to say that my allergies were really bad today when I was bawling, crying.
Oh my gosh.
Because we had to go and I helped my father take his dog, his longtime companion, which I actually got for him many years ago, Booger. We had to take him to the vet and we had to unfortunately put him down, but he had cancer and it progressed very quickly.
Very quickly.
So it was very sad. I was bawling inside of that vet's office.
There is a heart somewhere within Nick Snyder, believe it or not. There's a soft spot.
I loved that dog. The dog was so sweet. He was such a good companion for my father.
He was a sweetie.
So rest in peace, Booger, which was such a cute name for him too. I loved that name because everyone would always be like, Booger, that's such an interesting name. And it was like a talking point. So rest in peace, Booger. But we are here to talk about James Charles.
Another Booger.
Once again, another Booger person out here, James Charles. You know, a lot of people have been wondering how long it's going to take for James to get back into the drama and get back into getting dragged. And literally we just said, you know, I think maybe it'll be around this time next year. But here James is once again, allegedly not changing. Like apparently on Bumble, he is identifying as a woman.
Allegedly.
Yes,
allegedly. It hasn't been confirmed, but there's a lot of TikToks going around and there's a lot of stuff that was posted on Frenemies Room. I made a video about it. Pretty much.
Yeah, it hasn't been confirmed, but I mean, with the track record and how many times it has been that way before, I think that people are more so inclined to believe that this is actually James once again.
But I will say, in James's defense, there was 2 TikToks from the month of September. One was a little sketch because it said that there was this like travel feature enabled, but the other one, it did have where James messaged the guy
James
first.
was traveling in September. He was in New York and stuff.
Oh, well, I mean, it could be real, but regardless, the first message, it shows where James was asking the person that he was allegedly reaching out to that the TikTok was posted from to verify who they were. So, I mean, we have to kind of give him some kind of credit for that. I don't think we have to give snaps for it because
I'm not going to give snaps for it.
Doing the right thing should not be rewarded.
Exactly.
But it is possible that he was doing the right thing.
But they caught up with James. James was out on Rodeo Drive. You know, this Hollywood fix, they just really know exactly where these influencers are. Out of everyone in the world, they found James Charles on Rodeo Drive doing a little bit of shopping. I think he was actually filming something because he was wearing these he was wearing pleasers. Yeah. He was wearing very big heels.
I'm sorry, sidebar, we're going to digress for a minute. I can't think of Hollywood fix without hearing, "Hi, Javier."
I can't think of them without, "How'd you find me here?"
How'd you find me here? Yeah. You know, there's a lot of people that were asking for you to do that in the comments of our last video.
Yep. Because that is what Hollywood Fix is known for, because they seem to always find these little influencers. Well, I'm not going to say little influencers, but obviously influencers that have some kind of impact online. So basically what they did is they called James, or James called them and said, "I'm going to be here. Can you please catch up to me?" Where James wasn't wearing a mask, which we're not getting onto people really for that anymore. He was out in a public space. And basically he was like, "I'm gonna put my mask on because right here, I just want to take every precaution." But let's talk about cancel culture. He went into how he just thinks that it's something that happens online, and he's correct. It does happen online. It just so happens that it happens to him more so than anyone. Well, maybe not more so than anyone. I mean, Jeffree Star is way up there with the cancel culture.
Well, you gotta think about it. Cancel culture is fairly new. The internet and social media is still fairly new. I'm not going to say it's in its infancy, but we have a voice where people didn't have a voice before. So you couldn't really air grievances 15, 20 years ago. I mean, you could, but it wasn't like it is now, because you can get on Twitter, you can say things, you can make TikToks, you can make YouTube videos. You have so many avenues that you can get on the internet and express your opinion about things where you didn't have that before. So a lot of these social media influencers that are new to this, it's not like the media used to be. You used to get your media from like big media outlets like CNN and all these people like Inside Edition and all this different stuff. The people that used to attack Britney Spears back when the internet was like really brand new.
Perez Hilton over there on his comeback tour or whatever the hell he's doing.
So, I mean, cancel culture, I guess it's just part of the way that the internet has grown, because cancel culture is just literally a bunch of people with opinions that like to hold people accountable. Now, I'm not going to say that cancel culture is always good, because I don't know that it is, but there's a lot of instances where people have been dragged and had their feet held to the fire for a good reason.
And there are people that have learned from their mistakes. They have actually apologized and they have grown. And the person I'll use as an example, we say it all the time, is Laura Lee.
Yes.
Now with James Charles, girl, you keep getting called out for the same thing. It just happens like different months out of the year. You get called out for it and you get allegedly canceled. I'm going to say allegedly canceled because I think that James, as well as, I would say as well as Jeffrey, prove that yes, people can be down on you for a hot minute. You can get dragged every single day. People will call you out your name. People will keep reminding you every single day of the horrible things that you did. But at the end of the day, you're going to be allowed to come back.
Right. But speaking of Laura Lee, now, we've been talking about Manny because a lot of people are disappointed that Manny has supported James. I knew that Manny and Laura had a podcast together, and I think at some point I put it in a watch list to watch it. I've never watched any of the episodes, but do you know the name of their podcast?
No.
It's actually really cool.
I remember when I saw it, I was like, that's really good.
That is really cool because, they're makeup gurus.
Yeah.
It's called Full Coverage, like a play on full coverage. That is actually really cool. So snaps to Laura and Manny on that one. I'll give them credit for that.
I do think it's a little odd, though, that Manny is supporting. It's very, what's weird for me is that when James was the subject of frenemies and was getting dragged practically every single week, Manny came out and basically said that he really enjoyed their content. Didn't he have it was Teddy Fresh that he was wearing. He was wearing the Teddy Fresh. I don't think he was wearing the frenemies merch. But now, after Manny was called out for that, do you think that him and James are still friends and all this? Here we have Manny promoting the cafe collection from Sisters Cosmetics. That is the most white thing that I have ever seen in my life. Pumpkin spice latte for a shirt or a hoodie or whatever the it is.
Yeah, no, I don't know. But the interesting thing about that was Manny actually went on in detail about why he liked frenemies and how he was sad that they were breaking up because they talked about important topics.
Yeah.
Now, if you watched frenemies, you would know that a big part of the content that was discussed on frenemies was actually James Charles. Yeah. And Ethan didn't really pull any punches when it came to James Charles.
Called him every P word under the sun.
It's really contradictory to me that Manny would say all that and say that he loved frenemies. So it's coming across to me either he's being opportunistic with James or he's being opportunistic with Trisha and Ethan when they were on frenemies and it was so popular. It
just seems like the opportunity could have come knocking from a different direction to go out on that extreme.
It's sad. I really don't want Manny mixed back up in this stuff because I know that Manny and Laura are really good friends. They're really tight. And I think that Laura has actually really, many people, has really grown and she's came into her own and she's made her own content and made her own way. And I would hate to see Manny to really just dismantle everything and him getting away from drama by being associated with James.
I agree. But also James is talking about, he did a video where he was painting himself like a cow. I think that's what the makeup look was. I didn't actually watch the video. I just saw the clip. But he was asked, it was a Q&A. He was asked if he ever goes back and watches any of the collaboration videos that he did. So immediately in my mind, I'm thinking the Dolan twins. I'm thinking Emma Chamberlain. I'm thinking Jeffree Star. I'm thinking about the really iconic one that was James, Jeffrey, and Tati. Yeah. The Q&A that they did or whatever
Jeffrey
it was.
Shaded Laura. Yeah. He shaded the shit out of Laura
James actually said that he, more so than not, he does go back and he watches those because they're like a time capsule and they're like a home movie and all of that. Now, personally, I think that was a bit of a Miss America pageant kind of answer.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because that he probably sits at home. He might have a cocktail in his hand, be drinking fuck these bitches in this video, just screaming at it.
I think one of the most iconic things that came out of the collaborations with James Charles is the one, I don't know if it was for Jeffrey's channel or James's channel, but Jeffrey's sitting there and he's like, this goes out to all the people that are bleeding subscribers and have a red social blade. Yeah. That was a funny clip and that was a funny moment in time.
It was a funny clip and a funny moment.
So, I mean, there's been a lot of iconic things. I do feel like the beauty community is not what it once was because people are not as interested because people have ruined it. Yeah. And you can't really put the blame on one specific person. I feel like everybody's played an integral role in the demise of the beauty community and people not trusting these beauty gurus.
All I know is there are many people out here that do their makeup that are extremely talented, small creators, small channels and all that need a lot more recognition than what they get. So I've said this before, I've said this a lot. I would like to see these large influencers, maybe not the problematic ones, but some others. Maybe put on some smaller creators. I would like to see that. And that's really all I have to say about James Charles.
Yeah, not a lot of people have anything to say about James anymore, except for Manny promoting him on the Instagram, girl.
And the Hollywood Fix.
Yeah, and the Hollywood Fix.
Please let us know all of your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section, everyone. We love you, and see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.